what this is, this epic disaster. How are you? You know what? This is the first time we've done a show in a while where we're not like operating ahead.
Right.
I mean, we kind of are, but not.
Right. We're good.
Yep.
We're here. We're recording.
But because I went out of town and we were trying to catch up, and we were recording way ahead.
And then something got jacked up, and you ended up erasing something.
Yeah, but still, we were too ahead. And I set one of them to automatically post while I was out of town, and it did it, and it was awesome. I didn't have to do anything.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wish I could do that all the time. I don't like operating too far ahead because I like to be, like current.
Yeah, and plus with this new thing I'm doing, well, it's not that new anymore, but with the days,
yeah,
you can't,
yeah,
it doesn't make much sense.
But it does help if you have aged beer because that can work.
Aged beer
somehow, yes,
for an aged podcast,
something like that. I think we have a aged beer today.
We have a beer. I'm going to open mine and pour. Ow! I pinched myself.
Talk about what it is first.
All right. I will talk about it. So, shit, I need glasses. Sorry. I just walked up the stairs. I'm a little breathless. And Rick just tried something fancy and it didn't work. So he's going to use the opener appropriately.
You never know if it would work until you try it.
This time it did not. This is a limited release from Omme Brewery. Mm-hmm. It is a rye barrel vanilla stout.
Okay.
It is imperial stout with vanilla aged in rye whiskey barrels, which is basically what it said already. And it's 9.5% alcohol by volume.
I'm okay with that.
Because it's got the word imperial in it.
I've said it before on a lot of beers, but it's very much like a Guinness.
It's darker than a Guinness, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes, you can get darker than a Guinness.
I don't think so. Okay, so I poured it out here.
All right, go ahead and give it a test. It's got a nice little head, maybe a half-inch head.
You're not going to tell people anything about it or anything?
That's all it says.
Really?
It doesn't say anything else.
Okay.
You want me to read the government warning?
No, but where's it from? I mean, where's the brewery? It's all a mysterious thing.
You're very mysterious.
We don't know.
Okay, so I will tell you it's Omme Brewery.
We know that,
and they're out of Cooperstown, New York.
Okay, so it's a Yankee brewery. It's not a Southern beer.
It's not a Southern beer.
Which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I don't know. You're sucking yours down.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that first taste is yummy.
Really?
Yeah, it's like.
Well, you made a face like it wasn't.
No, it's like something I want to drink every morning. Tastes like a slash between breakfast and dessert.
That's the vanilla.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is nice.
That's a brunch beer right there.
Yeah, that's it's a little sweet.
A little bit. It might end up being too sweet by the end. But
a lot of stouts do that.
We're gonna end by letting you know what we think of this beer.
We got a lot of stuff to cover on today's show. A lot of stuff to cover.
Do.
I hope we can work it all in. We have a table here. We won't tell you exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something we normally don't do it, but recently we have been doing it, so it's kind of becoming a normal thing. But
Rick brought some things to the table today.
Yeah.
And we are going to do kind of a taster tester on them.
Yeah.
But that's not our normal taste.
All right. So let's just go ahead and say it, because I didn't want to get into it just because I got so many things to talk about.
Sorry.
But I went to Minneapolis on my trip. I'm back at. There's a vegan butcher. Is what they call themselves. A vegan butcher.
Can you tell us the name?
Herbivorous. I believe the Herbivorous Butcher.
Nice.
And they're in Minneapolis, and I've been wanting to go and visit and try their stuff. I was going to order, and they do shipping, and so I just wanted to try some of the stuff. And we were there, so it was just like right down the road from where we are, so we were able to go get some stuff. So I got a lot of different cheeses. Now, I don't like vegan cheeses.
I don't either.
I don't like a lot of vegan food. Let me just say that. I did try some of their vegan meats, deli meats.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Good.
I have had some.
Now, did you try them on their own, or did you try them in a
I tried
preparation?
them in a sandwich, and it was really good. It was Italian sub sandwich, which is pretty darn good. So anyway, the cheese, I don't know.
Yeah.
People have told me that their cheeses are really good, so I want to try it because I love cheese. So I don't like fake cheese. And it's probably the same way a lot of people feel about meats, and I understand that. But so we're going to try some fake cheeses, and we'll see if maybe it can win us over.
I doubt it, but we'll see.
One of the things we also have here, which we're going to try, is some tuna salad. This is vegan tuna salad. Now, I have tried some other vegan tuna salads. I don't like any of them.
I don't either because I've never not eaten fish.
Right.
And to me, trying to recreate tuna is just kind of sacrilege.
So we'll try that. It's going to be a hard sell, but we'll try it. And then we're going to we have some shredded chicken, which is also vegan. So we're going to try all of those things. And the only reason why I know we do some food shows now on the podcast. This is extra food show just because food. I was in Minnesota. Now we got, which I'm not going to do here obviously, but we got several different steaks. We got a porter steak. I don't remember, a bunch of different like vegan steaks.
Wow.
So we're going to try those ourselves.
Tell me what the steak was made of. Was it like seitan or?
I have no idea. We can go look downstairs. I think it's in our freezer.
Okay.
But these, the chicken and the tuna salad here, it says jackfruit.
The main thing is jackfruit. Now
the
tuna salad,
jackfruit,
the tuna salad just says jackfruit, but the chicken salad says young green jackfruit, and they are two different things. And I believe that the younger, greener one will be less sweet.
Well, I'm going to give them an opportunity to win me over. So I follow them on Facebook. I like their mission. I like what they do. And I've been wanting to try their foods.
We'll give it a shot.
I like the foods when we were there. So that is what we're going to be doing today, in addition to, several other things. Should we go ahead and play a game first?
Yeah, let's do that first.
Would you rather? Let's do a little would you rather.
Okay, I'll go first. You read first.
Okay.
Which is normally the way we do it.
Well, you're right. We'll start drinking this stout, and I think it's going to be kind of a little bit of a stout. And then that little vanilla kicks in. That's actually really good.
Mm-hmm. The vanilla is yummy.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope it doesn't get too sweet by the end.
It might. We'll see. All right. Let's see. Let's have a color. Drop a color there.
Oh, I dropped
colors.
two. The first one that hit was blue. You want to just go with that?
I don't know. I was going to say if you drop a color, you should be able to choose one between the two, I guess. I don't know.
That's not fair.
No, you can't.
Go with the first one.
All right. Blue?
Yep.
Would you rather be born without lips or without ears? Lips or ears? Lips or ears?
I think I'd rather be born without ears, and here's why.
You can just grow your hair out.
You can just grow your hair out. Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't mean I can't hear.
Huh?
It doesn't...
You almost fell for it.
Asshole. It just means that I don't have the ear part, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So, you know how when you look at those charts where it shows where the most nerve endings in your body are?
Uh-huh.
And you know how the lips have a lot of nerve endings?
Yeah.
I don't want to lose that. Kissing is one of my absolute favorite things on the planet.
Which you do all the time.
With actually nobody. Nobody.
Yeah.
Which,
But ears, that's an erogenous zone as well.
A little bit. But yeah, but for me, for the ear, it's more about blowing in the ear.
Yeah.
And if I still have the canal, it'll still work.
Okay.
That's what they said.
I guess. Well, I feel like if you don't have ears, so obviously the ear serves a purpose to capture sound. So if you just have like ear holes on the side of your...
Then I can go like this.
Yeah. Well, too, I've seen really, really, really good prosthetic ears.
Yes. More so than prosthetic lips.
Totally, because ears are kind of just a fleshy thing anyway. And
cartilage, mostly.
Yeah, then they have little snaps, and they snap on the side of your head. They actually implant the snaps into your head, so you can... magnets, I guess, too. I don't know would work. So anyway, they just put them on like that. Now, lips would be a little bit difficult.
Much more difficult because you use them constantly all day long.
And not only that, but what I don't know. Even if you just have a hole there
in your face,
yeah, and you're able to put the edges of the hole together, that's a lip.
It's still kind of a lip.
There's no way you could not have lips. So you could have, and there are people who don't have prominent lips that still do quite fine. So I don't really know what that one would mean. But whatever.
It is a totally different type of skin.
Maybe taking a little bit too seriously.
Maybe, but again, my choice is I'd rather not have ears.
Okay.
So it's your turn.
Huh?
You got to drop a stone. Huh? Huh? Leave the cards alone. Drop
a
stone.
stone. Here we go. Dropping it.
Huh?
We haven't dropped a yellow one in a while.
Bull. Just a couple weeks ago. You dropped
two again, so I got to choose.
First one that hit was blue.
But I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to. I want one to fall. All right, green. Green fell.
Okay, green.
Green. Green.
Ethics and intellect. Mm-hmm. Would you rather slap your spouse in front of your kid?
Oh, please.
Or slap your kid in front of all of his classmates?
That's child abuse.
It's both of them are abuse.
That's a really, really bad question.
This is a horrific question.
Yeah, I'm not even going to answer that.
Would you like another one?
Beat the hell out of my kid in front of his friends.
Right?
That's what I want to do.
Or beat your wife in front of your kid and start putting things in his head.
Who wants to admit to that even if you do it? Like, oh, yeah, I'd really like to hit my kid in front of all of his friends. That'd be awesome.
All right, this is better.
Okay.
Would you rather know there's a heaven and go there now?
Okay.
Or live the rest of your natural life and never know for sure? That's kind of an easy one.
Well, everyone lives their life and not knows for sure.
I know.
So that's just called life.
It's just life.
I don't. To me, that's a silly concept.
The idea of heaven.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the question writer's concept of heaven is.
I guess what he's talking about. I say he, but I guess what they're talking about is, would you leave everything you have right now?
Yeah.
If you knew there was a heaven and you could go there.
Yeah. One of the more fun things to do is to talk to someone, a religious person, about heaven and ask them about what's heaven going to be like. And they will go into details and tell you this is going to be. And then if you ask them how you know, they don't know.
They don't know.
There's a few little kind of suggestive things in the Bible of what heaven might be like. Some of them are symbolic, but there's only a few. And
they go into
will go into
what
total,
your daily life will be like.
And like they know, and then you ask and they don't have it. It's just like you've made that up your whole life.
Mm-hmm. This is what you've told yourself, and now you believe it so much that you're going to tell me.
So I don't know. I mean, if instead of the word heaven, let's just say afterlife. If I know there's an afterlife, and let's say it's a pleasant afterlife, and would you want to go there now? I would say no. I don't want to go there right now. I'd like to finish doing what I'm doing here.
Exactly. Because what I'm doing here is lovely.
Yeah.
And I don't want to miss this.
One of my friends when I was in college was a philosophy major, and he was like a freshman, and he grew up kind of religious. Boy. Yeah. And he had his first philosophy class, and I can remember him just losing all of his faith. Like overnight. And apparently the philosophy professor said, he came in and he said, do you believe that heaven is better than right here on earth? Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah. And he said, no, you don't. Or else you would just kill yourself and go there.
Yep.
Well, my reaction was, no, that's a stupid rationale.
It is, because most Christians believe that
I believe that sitting home masturbating is much more pleasant than sitting in your class learning about philosophy.
And
but
yet
I
am.
I'm not whipping it out in your class.
Right.
We live life sometimes doing things we don't necessarily want to do right now because it's time to do that. Mm-hmm. We don't just always seek out what is pleasurable constantly at this very moment.
Yeah, we'd be primate. Well, we are primates, but we would be a much more lower level primate,
right?
If that were the case.
That's a horrible philosophy, and it's a horrible philosophical argument. And I wished he would have made it with me.
And this is the philosophy professor at college.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sure he's probably not there anymore. He's probably dead.
Probably.
He's probably finding out if where it is better.
Maybe he's sitting somewhere masturbating all day long.
I wish the guy could come back and go, this is why I didn't kill myself. It's not as good, is it? Thanks, dude. Ruining my faith.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
So what's next? What do you want to do?
Did I answer? Did I make it? I don't even know my question. What was my question?
If you knew there was a heaven, would you want to go? Yeah. You
said, if it was pleasant, I'll go. Sure. But I don't want to go right now.
No.
Okay.
No.
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
But also yes. It's yes and no.
Okay, now we need to go to philosophy class.
Let me see. What do we want to talk about? I got back from my trip. I told you I went to Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. So this came up. I don't want to embarrass anybody. I'm not talking about necessarily specific people in Minnesota. I visited family. Mm-hmm. But incident happened. Things came up. And it was kind of uncomfortable. And I want to kind of throw it out and see what you think about it.
Okay.
Let's see. I got to try to figure out a good way to talk about this where I don't upset anyone, make anyone mad.
Just make it all about you.
Well, it is about me.
Well, then use I statements.
Well, it's about me. It's about other people. So in this situation, I went to a wedding, which was someone in my wife's family. Mm-hmm. So I went and I visited my wife's family. Mm-hmm. Let me say that.
Yeah.
So the problem came with, and my wife and I, we've talked about this since then. And I put something on Facebook, which you responded to, so you probably know a little bit about it too. Excuse me, this beer is very
Is it
airy.
making you belch?
Yeah. A lot of the people in the place we went were huggers. Mm-hmm. I'm not a hugger. Mm-mm. I'm not a big hugger.
You barely hug the person you're with.
Well, I don't know that I would say that, but sort of. So I don't hug my family. We didn't hug each other.
Right.
As people in my family got older, a little more hugging happened. And now I'm not anti-hugging. I will hug people, but I'm just not as freely hugging as some people.
You don't walk up to somebody with open arms and go, hi.
I will, though. So while I was on this trip, I saw a friend who I haven't seen in quite a while, somebody I dated in college.
Oh, fun.
And I saw her, I don't know, 4 years ago.
Okay.
When I went to Minnesota. And then before that, 20 years probably.
Right.
So, and I did hug her. So people that I'm really, really close to, people that I've known for a long time, I'm probably a little more open to hugging.
You never hug me.
I don't. I don't hug a lot of people. That's kind of the point. So I went to, I was with my wife's family, and there were people I didn't know that would just come up and hug me, or that would say, "Give me a hug."
Right.
And I am like, that to me is, I can't. It's very strange.
Yes.
I start feeling like I'm going to be hugging someone covered in acid or burning on fire. It just, my body, it's painful. It doesn't do that. Mm-hmm. It's very uncomfortable. But I'm in a uncomfortable situation from the very beginning, because if I say no, I've offended them.
Yeah.
So I started thinking a lot about the way that we're set up in society. So there's kind of, I see it on Facebook a lot, this kind of trend now, and it's really kind of liberals, a lot of liberal philosophy saying that children should not be forced to kiss their relatives when the relatives come over.
I completely agree with that.
Children should not be forced to hug their grandma, their
or
aunt.
Or sit on laps.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, then why should adults be?
They shouldn't. And you know what?
I know, but I'm just saying the people.
But people assume that you're fine with it.
Yeah.
Because they
it's
are.
like when you get older, you're okay with it. But not everybody's okay with it. So my wife and I were talking a lot about it. She's a big hugger. And well, here's the thing. And so I got a lot of tangents here. But so I put a little quiz on Facebook, and almost everybody was like, hugger. I'm a hugger. I was like, do you hug? Do you not hug? Everybody was like, I'm a hugger. But there were a handful of people that I know that said, I'm not a big hugger except for the people that I'm in a relationship with. And then I'll hug them like crazy.
Right.
And that's me. I'm totally, my wife she can have as much as she wants. And two, I'm not against certain people that I've known for a long time or something, but still it should be my choice.
Yes.
I don't feel like I should ever be in a situation where I feel like I have to do it.
I agree.
And especially with strangers.
People you've never met.
Yeah.
Or even people you've only met online.
Yeah.
Or even just somebody you're not physically comfortable around or being around or have very little experience being around. A handshake is one thing, and even those, I started a job back in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I started a job, and it was like in November when I started. And I was being introduced to everybody.
Yeah.
And I went to shake somebody's hand, and he literally lifted up his hands and says, "I don't shake hands this time of year."
Okay. Well, for a safety thing, right?
Right.
Well, so like I was on dates, and you go on a date with someone. When I would go on dates, you go on a date, and it's like you didn't get far enough to where you felt comfortable kissing a person, but yet you didn't want to just shake their hand.
Right. You want to show some sort
There
of...
should be something in between, you know.
It's the gateway drug.
Yeah.
Hugging is the gateway drug.
I feel like it's just like a nipple tweak. Just reach out and squeeze a nipple. That should be...
That's the handshake of second
it's
date.
sort of like a handshake.
The handshake, yep.
Yeah. So, no. So sometimes I used hugs in that situation where, and a lot of times it's almost like, you know, where it's just like a side hug. You know,
Sure.
it's not a full. You're not
Just like a...
feeling them up.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No,
but still,
you don't have two hands around.
Yeah, but it still doesn't work totally that way. So it was just, especially when it's like my wife's immediate family, like I didn't want to just come out and go, no, I'm not going to hug you. Because then they're like, what's wrong with this guy?
Who's this asshole?
So it's either like I have to either shut up and be really, really uncomfortable, or I have to do this. And it's just, I don't know. What do I do?
I'm sorry, I'm not much of a hugger.
I know, but that's the equal of saying, oh, I'm sorry, I'm an asshole.
No, it's not.
It is. That's what people go, why don't you hug me? That's what they think. What's wrong with me? Why don't you do that?
Let me tell you about
What's
another
wrong
experience. Let me tell you about another experience. My own nephew, my sister's child. When I went back to Seattle, what was it, 6 years ago now, when I went back to Seattle to see my father, he was staying with him. And I went in, and I'd been there a day, you know, and I finally got a moment with my nephew. And I was like, give me a hug. And he goes, no. And I said, why not? And he goes, because I don't know you.
Yeah.
And he was just, but again, he's 18 years old.
But
right?
see, that's me. And I mean, kudos for him being able to say no.
Yes.
But I mean, I don't know how to do that. So to me, that would almost feel rude saying
I was a little,
no.
I was a little taken aback at first.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know me, I'm your aunt. And he's like, but I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're absolutely right. Because we hadn't been in contact.
But not everybody is as enlightened as that. That would say, oh, that makes sense. Their feelings would be hurt. And then, you know, then they go to the family and it's like, oh, he wouldn't touch me, wouldn't hug me. What's wrong with me? And
He
then
got pissy when I tried to get him.
and I'm not saying that would happen in this situation, but I'm saying, what if it did? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what people think. I don't know. So, and I'm just me. I am who I am. And so, like, even in this situation, even in the wedding, you know, I do and did things the way I always do them. And people are just like, oh, why are you acting like this? And I was like, don't worry about me.
Leave me alone.
I will take care of me.
Yes. I've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah. It's like at the wedding, I didn't want to eat. And so everybody was eating around me. I didn't want the food. And everybody's just like, aren't you going to eat? What's wrong? And then no one can have a good time.
Because you won't eat.
Because I'm not eating. It's like, I can't eat if I want to.
I'm fine.
I make a choice. It's not any statement on the food or anything. I just, right now, this is what I feel. I don't want to eat. So, okay. You have a good time there. But people can't do that. They have to worry about what does this mean? What is this thinking?
What's your statement?
Yeah. And I'm not necessarily saying that took place. I'm just saying that's kind of the same way with the hugging. If I don't participate in the hugging, if everybody's hugging and then me, I'm not. And when we say goodbye, everybody's hugging each other and I won't do it.
You're the outlier.
Everybody's like, why isn't he? What's wrong with me? Why, you know.
The definite outlier. And people are like, this person
is weird.
It doesn't fit in.
Yeah.
You know, one of these things is not like the other.
But that's the way it's always been my life. My whole life, everybody's just thought, what's wrong with this guy?
Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Because you have a personal boundary that says, I know how I feel and I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to do these specific things that everybody else is doing just because y'all do it.
And I went home and I thought, why am I like this? And let's see what other people think. So I looked it up online. I just kind of typed it in, about hugging, not hugging. And I found this article. It was in Psychology Today. And I thought, oh, this will be interesting. And I started reading it. And the whole thing was just like, why you won't hug, and you won't hug because something's wrong with you.
Oh, God.
That was Psychology Today saying that.
So that's psychology telling you you're fucked up because you won't give somebody a hug?
Well, the whole thing, it was just like, well, maybe it's because something happened to you when you were a child. And maybe you have body issues. Maybe you have self-esteem issues. It's like, maybe I just don't like it.
Maybe I just
don't. How about that?
Yeah. Maybe it's just not my thing.
That. Yeah. And that wasn't even an option. All of the options were just like, maybe something's wrong with you.
Because humans are naturally just supposed to want to hug everybody they see?
Well, I think that's what most people think. Yeah. And I think people do think something's wrong with you if you don't do that. And I will say, okay, most people do feel that. Some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
Those people have a right to, here's the thing. I'm okay sometimes hugging people. I feel like the choice should be mine.
I agree. It's your body.
Yeah.
It's your space.
Right.
And it's your mindset. So if you're in a mindset where you're like, hey, and you want to hug everybody, great, do it. If you're in a mindset where you're like, I'd really rather not right now, you should be able to do that too.
Yeah. And I feel like on a date, you don't know this person and the date is over. It went really well. I feel like you can say, are you okay with a hug? Can we hug? It sounds so silly. It sounds so liberal. It sounds so 2021.
Gives everybody.
But it's safe.
Yes.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you're a little silly. Because if you get to know the person and the date goes well, then there may come a time you don't ever have to ask them. You can just do it.
Last time I went on an actual date, I did that very thing. I said, can I give you a hug?
And sometimes they'll say no.
Sometimes they're like,
okay, that's cool. No problem.
This time they said yes, but they were like...
By the way, there will not be a date number 2.
They didn't seem comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I don't know. I just feel like here I am almost 60 years old, and I still feel like the first grader who's being forced to do something I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I just thought, why am I still feeling like this?
Because society thinks that everybody should do the same thing,
But we live in a society now where everybody's just like, you are in charge of your body. You say yes, you say no. It's your body. You make the rules. But then when you do make the rules, people are just like, oh, no, not that rule.
You can't make that rule.
You make me feel bad now.
Now I feel bad. Now I feel like I'm not giving you a choice. Well,
anyway,
you didn't.
I know it's me. I'm not blaming anyone else. I'm not blaming the huggers. I'm not blaming any family. I'm just saying me in that scenario.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it just doesn't work. And it's a mess. It's always a mess. It's just not going to come out well. And I feel bad when it's over. I'm just like, oh, man, I feel like I let people down. I feel like I insulted people. I feel like people think I'm bizarre or weird or whatever. And there's no way out of it. And then I feel bad.
Well, you shouldn't feel like, you shouldn't feel bad because it's your body. It's your choice. Mm-hmm. But you should also know that people, while they might be taken aback in the moment, given opportunity to go back and look at it and think about it, might see it your way.
Yeah. That's true. You talk about it, and I think everybody would kind of feel that way. But just no one talks about it. Just you're with family. Hey, why not? And the way I look at it, and I asked my wife this, I was just like, what if you went to, and I don't know, Greece, Italy, whatever, where everyone kisses each other on the lips?
Yep.
Because I would definitely be uncomfortable with that.
Yes, you would.
Unless Shania Twain happened to be in Greece. But anyway, but some people are more physical than some just hugs.
Cultures are more physical than others.
What if you go to a culture where they greet each other by licking their face? Are you okay? Would you do that? Would you go up to a strange family member and just lick their face? I mean, some people might, but most people wouldn't. Mm-hmm. So it's that. It's like, where's the line that you're comfortable? My line is much closer to me than a lot of other people. I'm more reserved. I don't do the hug, and I'm fine with it. I don't need to hug people.
Okay, let's say you had a very close Indian male friend from India, and over there male friends tend to walk and hold hands very often. Mm-hmm. And would you hold his hand?
No. No, I would hug. I've hugged dudes before. I've hugged women. I've hugged a lot of people. So, I mean, I'm not necessarily uncomfortable just with physicalness. Mm-hmm. You know,
if you were in India, would you do it?
I can't imagine doing that. No. So, okay. Like, I had it when I was in high school or college, not high school. When I was in college, I had a friend who liked to pretend like we would go out in public, and he would like to pretend like we were gay.
Maybe he really was.
No, he was married, but he just wanted to freak people out.
Oh.
So he wanted to walk holding hands so people would stare. Now,
that's no fun.
Here in Atlanta, I see dudes walking holding hands, and most people don't stare. Now, this was the 80s, and this was in East Tennessee, and people stared. And he just thought that was funny.
Because he was an asshole.
Yeah, definitely. You know the guy. So we would do that. We would do it just and I couldn't do it longer than 15 seconds. And I just felt uncomfortable holding a dude's hand.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. All right.
But anyway, that's just me.
Well, I don't know. Hugger, not hugger. I think that it's ultimately it's your choice. And if you offend people, then they need to get over themselves.
Let's see. My trip, let me say really quick. It was fun. It was a long drive.
Because you refuse to fly.
Well, we had to bring a bunch of stuff back, so we couldn't fly.
Oh.
We went, actually, one of the reasons we went was to bring a bunch of art back.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we had a carload of art, and that was cool. Art that my father-in-law, my wife's dad did. Mm-hmm. We brought it back. We're going to put it in the gallery, clean it up. So we got to go into storage and look. Man, that was kind of fun. And we and I brought a little box full of a bunch of slides and stuff. I got to see his old studio now. I'm not going to go into the detail, but we kind of episode
2 or 3,
4, whatever. When my wife was on and talked about her dad, who was killed in his studio, I got to see where the studio was. If you want to know what happened, go all the way back to the very beginning when my wife talks about it, and you can know the story. But it was creepy, and it was more. I don't know. In my mind, it was much more closed off. It was so much more open than I thought. It was more like he could see outside.
You were thinking that this was a horrible death trap.
Yeah.
Because that's what the only story you'd ever heard about this environment was that somebody died there.
Well, it kind of was. There was only one exit at the time,
right,
which was like a spiral staircase to get out. And the poison that was going into his studio was colorless and odorless, so he didn't know what was going on.
Know, yeah.
He just suddenly started getting and feeling sick and wanted to get out, and he couldn't get out. Now, there was a double door in that studio, and my wife said that was not there before. So they've put that there, and I bet you that code made them do it. And it was probably illegal to have a studio there with that only exit anyway.
It may not have been at the time.
Who knows? But anyway, that was interesting to see. And just, it's the first time that I've actually gone downtown in Minneapolis. We went to Art Museum, which was kind of fun. Mm-hmm. And, Minneapolis was kind of cool. I feel like, and I'm going to offend some people, and I'm okay.
All right.
I feel like southern cities are prettier than northern cities. And like Atlanta's a beautiful city. Now Atlanta has some junky, ugly stuff.
Not everybody thinks Atlanta's a beautiful city. I do. I am one of the people that does. But you need to say that parts of Atlanta are beautiful.
Yeah, I mean,
and the city overall is beautiful, and they take care to make sure that they have a good canopy. Just to keep it freaking cool.
Well, I just feel like a lot of northern cities I've seen, Cincinnati, Columbus, cities in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, now New York, off and on, beautiful. I can't think of all cities that I've seen up north, but a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like they need a good hosing down. And what I think is, number one, they're older. So the buildings are older a lot of times. Atlanta's kind of a newer city. Atlanta also has a lot of windows on their building.
Atlanta's not a new city.
It's a newer city.
Atlanta's been around since before the Civil War.
But you don't see Civil War buildings. The prosperity of Atlanta is fairly recent. So the buildings that are built like you look in New York, the buildings in New York, Empire State Building, things like that, were built in
The
1900, 1920s. Yeah. Atlanta, 80s, 90s, 2000s, some of those buildings. They've got glass on them because it's a southern city. You can make use, the sun, you can have sun coming right in. The northern is so cold, they kind of shut the buildings down. And two, I think the weatherizing kind of makes the buildings a little rough. Salt from the roads. I don't know. I just felt like overall, and this is a general thing, a lot of buildings in cities that I see in the north, to me, seem a little junky. If you want to debate me on it, I'm okay with that. Garyopolis in Baltimore. Baltimore's a pretty city. I've been in Baltimore, and I will say, I'll make an exception because I've been out walking Baltimore. That's a pretty city. There's probably some ugly parts of it.
Well, just like any city.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you've probably offended a few people.
I totally have. But anyway, like if you go to New Orleans now, New Orleans is kind of, I've seen some areas of New Orleans that aren't too cool, but New Orleans, and the same with Savannah. Savannah needs a good washing, but it has style. I don't know, the building has style. So it's not a fair thing to say, but I'm going to stick with it.
What you're basically telling me is an opinion on architecture.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. No, I'm just saying, so I kind of had that feeling about Minneapolis. It was a little more rundown feeling than I thought. But I liked it. And, like, I don't like, I'm going to say all kinds of stuff to make people mad. I'm not a big fan of Dallas. A lot of cities I've been in Texas I don't particularly like, but they're pretty. Dallas is a pretty city from what I've seen of it. No, there's probably some shithole neighborhoods in Dallas.
Oh, yeah, there are. Oh, yeah, there are.
But anyway, I'm just speaking generally, and don't get upset. You can, you know what? If you want to get upset, fine. Write me letters and prove me wrong. Send me pictures. I'm totally into that.
You love those city walking videos. Why don't you go to some of these cities and walk?
Like Tokyo and stuff. Like I will go in. Every city in Japan is beautiful. Every city in Japan is beautiful. There, I said it.
Oh my God.
I know. But anyway, we had a good time. We took our dogs. 20 hours in the car ride with dogs. They behaved quite well. And then we got back and we adopted a kitten.
Wait, before we get into that, how many times do you have to stop with those dogs?
We tried to stop every 4 hours.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and they didn't even need to sometimes.
Yeah.
But they were just like me.
Well, they didn't have water the whole time, so.
No, we would give them a little bit of water. And so like I don't know. I think like the last 2 hours of the drive, they were done, just like me.
Over it.
Yeah, they were just like, are we about there? But they behaved so well. And the first time we took Lewis, our new little dog, and he just behaved so well. I didn't expect that. Keely, I kind of thought would make the trip quite easily, and she did. But Lewis is even better than her.
Wow. So
I was very proud of both of them. And then we got back and we adopted a cat the next day.
My goodness.
Because, and we've talked about on the podcast, we had two of our senior cats die.
Yeah, I'm
and
sorry.
And our little cat, our youngest cat, has no one to play with now.
Yeah.
And she walks around crying all the time. And it's really heartbreaking.
It
She's
is heartbreaking.
So we went out and got Kitty. First of all, I was really surprised at how difficult it was to adopt. You would think that they want animals to be adopted, and every time we tried to do it, a roadblock came up, and it was so difficult. We went to like 4 adopt places, and they just kept throwing up no. It was hard. I could not believe it. Why would you
get denied adoption?
We didn't get denied. It was just like, you can't do it right now. It was like, you're going to have to fill out a form and wait several days. I was like, no, we'd like a kitty today. No, we don't do that.
I mean, that's for safety reasons.
I can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
But then when we got the one we got, we did it in a day. So, I don't know. Okay. Maybe COVID or something. I don't know. But anyway, we got a little black kitty. Mm-hmm. Solid black. Cute as he can be.
He is.
He's a little terrorist. He's, man, he's a handful. Now,
he's not afraid.
Not at all. I haven't had a baby kitten in probably 20
Now,
or
he's
30
not a
years.
baby. He's about 5 months old. He was
baby.
old enough to have his spay or his neuter done,
Yeah.
or else you wouldn't have been able to adopt him.
No.
So they did it sounds like if he's only 5 months old, they did the neuter early, because normally you
Yeah.
wait till they're 6 or 8 months old.
Well, my last cat adoption happened at a year and a half.
Yeah.
Jenny was a year and a half.
Yeah.
And so and before that, I don't know. But I mean, I haven't had a kitten in the house in a while. And he's just all over the place. I did not sleep good last night. He
Why?
was on my head. He likes to bite my beard. That's not pleasant.
In the middle of the night, I doubt it.
All the time, he bites the side of my face. And it's just like, I don't know. Everybody is his play toy.
Yes.
So we haven't come up with a name yet. We've thrown out several names. Then we can't. None of them have landed. Some of them we like better than others, but we just so far nothing.
I think the last one y'all talked about downstairs hit a nerve.
Maybe,
Hit a nerve.
but that happened before, and then it eventually goes away. So we'll see. But anyway, it's nice having a little kitty. He's cute as he can be. I really like this cat.
He's going to be he's a long hair cat.
I love long haired cats.
But you're going to have to brush him.
I wanted a Maine Coon, and I kind of got talked out of it, and I totally know why.
Because she said we don't need another dog.
I mean, or a cow.
Yeah.
Lion. But and I totally get it. So, but he's like a perfect. I think he's going to be a great social. He's got really good social skills.
You didn't even have to separate them to introduce them.
No. So I think they're going to get along famously. The dogs seem to like him all right.
Today is the first day that Toffee has met him.
Yeah.
He's only been here a couple days.
A day.
A day.
About 24 hours now.
So Toffee comes in and just walks right up to him, and he's up on the table, and they just start nose and nose. And Toffee is a large dog. She's over 85 pounds. And which the vet yelled at me about, but she got up in his face,
Yeah,
and he was just like, he hissed a little, and he did a little smack, but not with nails,
no,
and just was like, just give me my space.
He I don't think he's met a stranger. He likes everybody. He's fine. He's one of those. He's got that kitty confidence. Mm-hmm. Everything belongs to him. Mm-hmm. The whole world is his. Mm-hmm. He's very self-confident. But anyway, it's fun and it's cool. It's going to be a little trying time having that, but he'll mellow out, and I think it'll be great.
Hopefully your beard will survive.
Dang. We need to get onto some of this food.
Let's do it.
Now, we'll see. I don't know. We just have a few things we want to try. We're not going to draw this out too long. I just want to try it. We bought this cheese, and I just said, we should try it on the podcast. So that's what we're going to do. Really, we bought it for home. We didn't buy it to try.
We're just going to try a bite or two.
Yeah, just to see if we like it. And now I don't really want to badmouth the butcher or Biffer's Butcher, because I like their mission. I like what they do, and I've already eaten food there, and I like their food. The great sandwiches. So I'm hoping, I like this. But I'm going to be honest. If I don't like it, I'll tell you, and don't poke me.
I didn't poke you
with the knife. So now, let's describe what we're eating. This looks like a wedge of cheese.
This is the smoked Gouda.
Smoked Gouda.
Which is one of my favorite actual cheeses. And since this is a vegan cheese, I'm interested to see if it's wrapped.
So it's got like a wrap around it. Now, does it have wax?
No, it's just a paper.
Okay, all right.
So
it's just it's like a triangle, little wedge. And then
it's wet.
Well, it's been in the fridge, so it's probably got some condensation on it. So, all right. Let's try a little bit.
Do you know what the consistency, just touching it with my finger, feels like? You know those little wedges you get, the cow little wedges that you get in a round container?
Okay.
That's what it feels like to me.
It smells a little cheesy, but it also smells like vegan cheese. I've had some vegan cheese before.
Well, Gouda has a specific smell.
And it's not Gouda. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to go ahead and put one in my mouth.
It looks like tofu.
It tastes like smoked Gouda.
It does, actually.
Because it's the smoke.
Yeah.
You can't deny smoke. The texture is a little loose. It's not.
It's a little more like tofu, but the taste itself, I have to admit, I did not expect it to taste that good.
Gouda has a here you go, one more. Gouda has a lovely, well, this smoked Gouda has a lovely smoked flavor, and Gouda has a specific flavor. And you, other than the smoke, you can actually taste it. It tastes like Gouda, but when you put it in your mouth, it does not have the same consistency. But it's not like totally like.
It kind of tastes like a hot dog. Now that I say it,
it does taste like a hot dog.
Because the hot dogs are a little soft, but it kind of has the same kind of hot dog flavor too. All right, that's not as bad as I thought it might be.
All right, I'm gonna put this one away.
I'm gonna call that a win. I'm gonna call that a win for the herbivorous butcher.
I mean, yeah.
I would say I would put that on a sandwich. They did. Now here's the thing. I have no idea how it melts. I don't know if it would taste good in a cheese dish. I can't say, but all I could say is cutting from a wedge and eating it, that's not bad.
Not bad.
It's much better than I thought it was going to be. So
next we're going to try the cheddar.
Now this is the one that I'm very concerned about because I'm afraid you're going to stab me.
I'm way over here with the knife.
What? Let's do the cheddar last. Let's do the dill Havarti next.
Okay, we'll do the dill Havarti next. Thanks.
Because the cheddar is the one I need to be perfect.
It's not going to be perfect. It's vegan.
It could still be perfect, I guess. All right, so this is a dill Havarti. It looks like a wedge of something with dill in it.
So far, that's what it looks like.
Okay.
So now we're going to do a little slice of the dill Havarti.
All right.
Let me get it from over here.
Oh!
Oops, that's
somebody
a big
cut
slice.
the cheese. I knew I had to say that.
Yeah, you were going to say it
All
anyway.
Right. Tasting it.
What do you think? It smells a little like dill, not as much as actual dill Havarti.
It tastes like dill. All right. It's the exact same texture as the last cheese. Very, what I would call almost tofu-like.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes like dill Havarti.
Not as strong, though.
Not nearly as strong
as
the dill I like.
It doesn't have a strong dill taste.
The dill Havarti I like is like smothered in dill.
Yeah.
But this has a dill flavor.
Not bad.
The texture, once again, is not a cheese texture. It's
more tofu.
It's a very soft.
Yeah.
Kind of melt in your mouth texture, but maybe not melt on things. Because I don't know what it's made of. Well, actually, I do. I have an ingredient list right here.
That's not my favorite.
I could snack on that.
I'm going to say that doesn't taste like cheese to me.
So this is made of soy milk, coconut oil, tapioca flour, spice, lemon juice, and nutritional yeast, and then dill.
Okay.
So it's just they made something and then they compressed it.
Yeah. So that one's not for me, maybe for some people. The Havarti was much better. Or was it Gouda? Smoked Gouda was much better. That was not my favorite. So now I'm going to say 1-1. We're 1-1.
Okay, for you.
Now, they did have some other stuff, I think. I can't remember if they had like Swiss and provolone and stuff. Probably. But we just got these three.
All right. So now we have the cheddar, which you want to be perfect.
All right, here we go. This has got to be good. Now, already, it's not the color of cheddar. It's a little more pastel.
It looks
more like American. It's sort of like
I was going to say
Velveeta.
a pale Velveeta.
Yeah, a little paler. So now I'm concerned.
Excuse me. So I'll just cut a few little slices here.
Cutting the wedge.
Cutting the cheese.
All right, let's see. It smells like American cheese to me. No.
Are you disappointed?
Yeah.
It smells like cheddar.
So here's the problem. When I have cheddar, I like sharp cheddar. I like extra sharp cheddar.
You're not going to get that from a vegan cheese.
I would say this to me tastes more like American cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese slice.
Yeah.
American cheese slice.
Like processed cheese food.
Yeah, and that's not my favorite. I would say it's okay. It's certainly better than most vegan cheese I've had.
Agreed. I'll agree with you there. It's better.
So the smoked Gouda, I was really thinking, wow, this is gonna be good.
The smoked Gouda is probably my favorite.
Yeah, that was not bad. Actually, the more I eat of that, the more I kind of like it.
But once you said hot dog, I'm like, shit, now I can't get
They
it out of my
all
mind.
taste a little bit like hot dogs. It's got that same kind of soft hot doggy, meaty taste.
Well, that's texture. That's not taste.
All right, so jackfruit. Which would you want to try first, the shredded chicken or the tuna salad?
Tuna, because I'm going to hate it. Hold on.
Think you're going to hate it?
There's a flip right here.
All right,
there you go.
Let's try this. This is going to be the tuna salad. It smells absolutely
There's oil.
nothing like tuna. It's got it looks like it's got chili or something, chili powder in it. I don't know.
No, I think that's just the oil.
All right.
Ooh.
It feels like it could be tuna. It's a little chunky.
I'm going to let you try that first.
Yeah,
I'm frightened.
I'm sort of stirring it up a little bit. All right.
I'm a little scared.
It looks like barbecue something. Looks like barbecue beef. Or
It looks
meat.
like pulled pork.
Yeah. Looks like somebody pulled their pork right here.
Oh, God. All right, you eat that. Verdict?
Okay. It does not taste like tuna salad, although it tastes more like tuna salad than I expected it to taste.
Really?
I don't know if it's just the color that's throwing me off that makes me feel like it's barbecue, but it almost tastes like barbecue to me. It's too greasy. It's too oily. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's very, very oily. Not for you?
No. I mean, if that's all I had to eat, I wouldn't turn it down.
It's not horrible.
It's not horrible.
No.
But I am one of those people who has never stopped eating fish.
Uh-huh.
Like, even as I became...
Right.
I didn't go full vegetarian. I went pescatarian. Mm-hmm. So I would still eat fish.
Yeah. So this is not some...
This is a jackfruit mixture to me.
Okay.
Although, I do like the spices in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's red onion. It looks like there's also white onion. Oh, here. I have ingredients. It says shredded jackfruit, mayo, nori. Maybe that's what I'm tasting. Oh, celery. That's what I'm tasting.
Well, the nori's going to give it the fishy taste.
And onions. Yeah.
I've always
super
thought,
simple.
Yeah, so if somebody's going to do it like a fake tuna or something, they should put nori in it.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like it doesn't taste tuna enough for me. That's part of the problem.
Agreed. It tastes more like the spices.
Yeah.
And the celery.
Yeah.
Than it does the tuna.
So once again, I'm going to say it's not bad.
It's not bad.
I would eat it on.
Put that on some bread. I'll eat it.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not. I don't know. I can't say it tastes like tuna salad.
You having a hard time?
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah. It's like when you couldn't open a jar.
All right, so now this, it's sort of the same color.
But it's a different texture.
But it doesn't seem as oily.
It doesn't have the oil on it because it doesn't need it. Because it's not
shredded chicken. So I'm going to try the shredded chicken. And this will be the last that we're tasting.
This is the last thing we're tasting, so if you're bored.
Everybody's saying, thank God.
Get over it.
Here I go.
Here I go. Here I go.
It smells very it smells like chicken bouillon.
Okay, I'm going to read you the ingredients on the shredded chicken dip. It is, and Rick says, no, absolutely not. Get this out of my mouth. Young green jackfruit, citric acid, water, sunflower oil, tahini.
No.
Nutritional yeast, non-chicken powder, which is basically a fake chicken powder. Salt, extra virgin olive oil, spice, turmeric, sage.
All right, so I'm just going to say there's absolutely nothing about that tastes like chicken.
What does it taste like to you?
Dog food.
Oh, do I really want to taste this?
Taste it just so you know what it tastes like. So here's our problem. I'll tell you our problem. That's what I'm telling you. So here's our problem is we've had some pretty good chicken spread. We've had some pretty good chicken, shredded chicken.
Yes, we have.
And we get it at the Village Market in Collegedale, Tennessee, at the Adventist store. And that's good. I don't know whether it's vegan, though.
Why do we have to end on that note?
I don't know, but I can't. I'm sorry. I really, really wanted to like these guys' food. Now, the tuna I can tolerate. I would eat that. I couldn't eat this chicken for anything. I really wish they would come up with a different recipe. That's
Yeah.
almost offensive. I can't
Yeah.
eat that. Sorry. So, all right. So here's what I'm going to say. The cheeses surprised me. They're probably the best vegan cheese I've had.
I agree.
But even saying that, some of it I didn't particularly care for. Maybe it's a personal thing, but it just doesn't taste like cheese. The smoked Gouda was good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Tuna, okay. I would say it's okay. I think I might have had some better tuna spread. I can't remember. The chicken, let's forget that we even tried that.
Let's forget it ever happened.
I would like to suggest that maybe it's popular. If it's popular, stick with it. But I can't eat that again ever. That does nothing. And I'm not a jackfruit person, so that's a big part of it. Most of my meats are soy.
See, I didn't taste
Fake
any
meats.
jackfruit. Jackfruit, it doesn't have to have a taste.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, it seems like it always does.
I didn't.
All right.
Okay.
So now the porter, I got the porterhouse steak.
Yeah, we'll see what that looks like.
And there's a couple other steaks. I can't remember what we have. But we'll see. And I feel a little better about those. I will report back when
Please
we eat
do.
those, and I'll let you know what we think of those. But that's what we think of these.
Texture-wise, I'm curious on the steaks. How do you make a steak?
Well, it's shaped like a steak. I've had fake steaks before.
Have you?
Well, I mean, but they're made of soy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if these are made of soy or not. They might
See,
be.
I have a soy sensitivity. I'm not
Right.
allergic to soy, but if I eat too much soy, like if I eat a bunch of your fried tofu, which I love, I will get sick. Or if I eat a bunch of Maria's empanadas where she uses a soy-based meat product, I will get sick. And it's because I can have a little bit of soy. I can't have a lot.
Yeah.
So when I buy meat substitutes at home, I tend to buy the corn products, which are
Fungus.
fungus,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. Micro fungus stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me say really quick, I did try some of their jerky. And that was pretty good.
Really better than the stuff I brought?
Yeah, it was.
Really?
We both liked it. My wife and I both liked it.
Oh, speaking of food, I have to make a correction to something I talked about last week in my days of the week,
Okay.
which I'm about to do here real quick.
Yeah.
Last week in my days of the week, it was Monte Cristo Day.
Hold on.
What's the matter?
Computer's frozen. There it goes. All right, we're back. I don't know what was missed, but the whole computer froze up for a second. I don't know if anything you said just now was frozen up, so you might want to repeat it.
Okay.
You got to make a correction.
I got to make a correction. Last week, I made a statement on Monte Cristo Day during my days of the week,
okay.
which I'm about to do here in a minute.
Yep.
But last week, my days of the week recorded Monte Cristo Day, and I was like, yeah, it's this thing, and you can put an egg on it and make it a croque madame. And I was totally screwing up a Monte Cristo.
With the eggs Benedict.
No,
Oh.
with a croque monsieur.
Oh, dang it. I do that all the time.
Two totally different sandwiches.
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm not an idiot. I do know what I'm talking about. I just play one on the podcast. That's right.
Well, speaking of days, what's happening this week? I feel like people are lost and they need to know.
People are lost.
Yeah, they need to know what's happening this
I will
week.
let you all know
Please do.
all about it. So Monday, which is today, if you're listening on the 20th of September, is National, something I miss a lot, Fried Rice Day.
Oh, man.
You make a good fried rice.
I love fried rice. I can have fried rice every day of my life.
Yeah. It's also National String Cheese Day, which you're not a huge fan of.
I love string cheese. I can
do you
have that
really?
every day of my life, too.
I could have string cheese every day. I use it when I was going to the office every day. It was a snack every single day.
You ever listen to the string cheese incident?
No. What is that?
It's a jam band, kind of like Fish or Widespread Panic or something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, I will listen to that while I'm eating string cheese.
You should.
Tuesday, the 21st, is National Chai Day. Do you like chai?
Love chai.
I like chai lattes.
I went through a period where that was all I would get at a coffee shop was chai latte.
In Alaska, I knew a person that actually made his own chai, and that's what he did for a living, is he would sell it to different coffee shops.
Oh.
He would make it in huge batches. Like, he used the big, like, beer size things.
I love chai.
It was really good.
It's got stuff in it I like. I don't like cloves separately, but in chai like that, I like cinnamon. I like, and What is it? Allspice or whatever?
All the
that
things.
stuff. I love
There's
it.
black pepper in chai.
That's good.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Now, he made 2 kinds. He made the normal, regular chai that everybody's used to, and then he made a spicy chai.
Spicy chai is my favorite of the Spice Girls.
Which not everybody was into, but one of our coffee shops in town loved it, and the people that went there tend to love it too.
Okay.
Anyways, love chai. It's also National IT Professionals Day.
Hey, something for you there.
What? Now, that's not necessarily the 21st of September. It's the 3rd Tuesday in September.
Okay.
Every year. So, shout out to me. Wednesday, Hobbit Day.
The Hobbit. Okay.
Hobbit Day. Have you ever seen the movies?
Yes.
Did you read the books?
No.
Okay. Did you like the movies?
The first time I ever saw a Hobbit movie was when I was a junior in high school. It was an animated show. Ralph Bakshi or whatever did it.
Yeah.
I could not wait to get out of the theaters. The worst thing I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Hated it. When Lord of the Rings came out, I almost didn't see Lord of the Rings because of that movie. Went to see Lord of the Rings. Might be my favorite movie. I love all of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Okay.
And then they came out with the follow-up Hobbit movies, which I have not seen. I've seen bits and pieces.
That's what I was asking.
But I have not seen all of those yet. Peter Jackson ones.
Martin Freeman. Yeah, Martin Freeman does an amazing job as Bilbo.
Right.
And you got to watch them.
Yes.
They're really great movies.
From what I've seen, that is true. I would like to live in a Hobbit house.
Yes, me too.
That is large enough for a 6'5" dude.
Not likely to happen. But good luck with that.
But I love the houses, yeah. I
mean,
like the Hobbits in general.
If Gandalf can get in there, you can
true.
get in there.
I think I would like to wear, I wouldn't be a Hobbit, but I would wear shoes.
You would, well, you'd have to wear really big shoes.
I feel like you can make shoes any size.
Yeah, that's
true. The whole thing about them not wearing shoes is like, okay, how about larger shoes? Why not? You don't have to go barefoot.
You don't have to. It's true. It's just a thing they do.
I guess.
It's also the autumnal equinox.
Okay, yeah, first day of fall, right?
Yep, Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Awesome.
I know. I'm so excited.
Favorite time of the year.
Me too. Thursday is something that I think should be every day.
Celebrating me?
No.
Oh.
Celebrating bisexuality.
Okay. That isn't me, but
It's Celebrate Bisexuality Day.
I always kind of
on Thursday, and I'm like, why is that not a thing every day? But it's the same thing with Valentine's Day. Why is that not a thing every day?
I wish I was bisexual. I think that it's the best thing to be.
I agree.
Because you're never lacking. I mean, you are, but most of the people,
Thank you for that.
You get anything, and that sounds stupid, but I mean, what I'm saying is you don't have.
You only get anything if you're like me and you're actually pansexual.
I don't mean anything, but what I mean is the flavors. It's like going into an ice cream store.
Oh my God, here we go. Yeah.
And you aren't lactose intolerant.
Right.
So if you are, you only get the sorbets. You only get the sherbets. Mm-hmm. But if you're not lactose intolerant, you can have anything in there. And that's what I feel like about with bisexuality. In life, anything that appeals to you, you're open to.
I'm open to. I just don't have.
But really, honestly, everybody is that. It's like I could be open to dude love, but I'm not. No one's stopping me. I'm just not. I don't do it. I'm not doing it. But what if I did? I actually had that thought a while back. I was just like, what if I like, and I'm not this brave, but what if one year I was just like, first of all, I'm married, so I'm not going to do it now. But what, like if I was single and I was like, what if like I just decided I'm going to see what it's like? Mm-hmm. And people should be able to do that if they want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Experiment.
Sure.
Even, it doesn't matter how old you are.
You may decide you don't like it. You may decide it's fine. You may decide
you love it.
Like, so when you and I were in a relationship, I had thought about getting involved with someone who's bisexual before, and I did 2 people, and I didn't because they were bisexual. And I had that same issue with you, and I had to work it out, and I worked it out, and it's fine.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing that people don't understand about...
And then you came to me and said, I want tits. I was like, oh, sorry.
Oh, oops.
Can't help you there.
Here's the thing about people who have other than heterosexual leanings, bisexuality, pansexuality, etc. We are still capable of monogamy. It's still a thing. Sure. Like you just like you like all kinds of different women, but you choose one woman.
Yeah.
And you're with her now.
She's the best one.
Now, but that doesn't mean that you're not attracted to other kinds of women.
No, not at all.
Not at all, especially for you.
But I picked a good one.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't have married her.
I agree. And I mean, I've talked to some of my friends who are bisexual, and they were, and not all bisexual people are monogamous. Some of them, just like anybody. But I just feel like, what a great life to have, to not have limits.
Right.
On love.
Right.
To me, it's great.
Your options for a loving relationship are much more open.
I wish I could be that way. I wish I was that way.
But you've had much more loving relationships than I have.
Loving? I don't know.
Okay.
Let's
just go with relationships. Okay. So the next day, which is Friday, let me count.
Thursday? Friday? Thursday.
Thursday is the bisexuality.
Oh, okay.
So Friday, this is a fun one. I didn't know anything about this, so I have a little bit of information for you on it.
Okay.
It is Schwenkfelder Thanksgiving.
What is that?
Schwenkfelder.
What is Schwenkfelder?
Thanksgiving.
I do feel like we've come up with a name for our cat.
I think you're right.
What is that?
So on September 24th, Schwenkfelder Thanksgiving expresses thanks in a way that dates back to 1734.
Holy crap.
The Schwenkfelders are the descendants of a small Protestant sect that sprang up in Germany around the time of the Reformation. They were followers of Caspar Schwenkfeld, a theologian. He and his followers separated from the Protestant circles.
Casper, the friendly Schwenkfeld.
Right.
I don't know how to say that.
They separated from the Protestant circles and formed the brotherhoods that still survive as the Schwenkfelder Church.
I need to find out about that.
Most Schwenkfelders now live in Pennsylvania Dutch country.
Oh, are they like really, really conservative, like no electricity and stuff?
I don't think so.
Like
it says
Amish?
It's 1733. A handful of Schwenkfelder's followers arrived in Philadelphia.
I mean, just the name.
Schwenkfelder.
You gotta be.
I love it.
Sure.
A second group came from Germany on September 22nd, 1734. They swore their allegiance to the British king.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Then they spent September 24th expressing their thankfulness to God for having delivered them from persecution.
Okay.
Which was under the king. Anyways, this Thanksgiving event is the oldest continuously observed Thanksgiving event in the United States. The traditional Thanksgiving celebrated at the end of November didn't get its start until the end of the Civil War. While the Pilgrims held their first Thanksgiving feast in 1621, the observance didn't continue uninterrupted. Days of fasting and Thanksgiving on an annual or occasional basis became common practice in other New England settlements. George Washington even proclaimed the nation's first Thanksgiving in 1789. And while his successors followed suit, designating days of thanks, they weren't consistent. It wasn't until 1863 that Abraham Lincoln proclaimed a national Thanksgiving for the last Thursday in November. Annually, the country gave thanks on that day until 1939. That year, Franklin D. Roosevelt moved the observance to the fourth Thursday, and that's where it stayed.
Okay, that's history of Thanksgiving.
Right?
I knew all that. The Schwenkfelders, though, I didn't know. And I want to say, if anybody's out there and you are a Schwenkfelder, and I don't know if I'm saying it right, and I apologize if I'm not.
No, you got it right.
And you want to invite me to your Thanksgiving?
I'm coming.
I'm coming.
That's right.
I want to come. What do you think they have? Do you think I bet you they don't have.
I have no idea because it doesn't say.
It's probably like German food.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It doesn't say. And bratwurst.
Pickled meats and stuff.
It doesn't say that they ever left the loyalty to the king.
Oh, that's probably the problem. We need to do some research on them.
Yeah,
all right.
Schwenkfelders.
Okay.
Look it up. Have fun with it.
Honey, the Schwenkfelders are here.
Mr. and Mrs. Schwenkfelder.
Party of two.
So Saturday is probably going to be my favorite day of this week.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Dia de la Quesadilla.
All I heard from that was quesadilla, and I'm sure that's why it's some kind of food.
Day of the quesadilla.
Okay.
Dia de la quesadilla.
Okay.
All right. Anyways,
So
quesadillas.
you'll have quesadillas.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Saturday is quesadilla day.
Okay.
What do you like in your quesadilla?
I'm not a big quesadilla fan. I did have a pretty good one, though, the other day. What did I like about it? So what they did was, I believe they took a I may be wrong about this.
Okay.
Flour tortilla and like deep fried it. So it was really crunchy and good.
Yes, I love them
And
crunchy on the outside.
Yeah, it wasn't corn. I like flour tortillas better than corn. And I can't remember what was inside. It seemed like beans and potatoes and stuff. I don't know. But I will be honest, I'm not a big fan of the Americanized Mexican dishes. Like, my wife loves tacos and stuff. Like, I like Taco Bell tacos, but and that's like saying I like Coors Light. But I don't know. I'm not into it as much as she is, and that makes sense. She's Hispanic and I'm not.
Okay. Sunday, let's move on.
All right,
You'll
let's
like this day much more than
Oh, yeah?
I will.
Better than Schwenkfelders?
Way more than I will. It's National Pancake Day. He almost choked.
Yeah, I did. I love pancakes, and I can't believe there's anyone who doesn't.
Me?
We had this conversation.
I hate pancakes.
My wife doesn't like pancakes. Someone, and I can't remember who from our listeners, offered to have pancakes with me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't believe anybody doesn't like pancakes.
I am not a pancake fan. I'm also not a waffle fan.
The first day we met, pancakes. I had pancakes. I don't know what you had.
I had an omelet.
I had pumpkin pie pancakes.
Yes,
pumpkin pancakes.
Because it was
in
mid-October.
Chicago.
Yep.
Chicago at the IHOP.
Yep.
In Chicago.
And I got an omelet.
And that was awesome.
And then we walked out in the snow.
And it was great. And then we went to Harry Carey's for a steak dinner. I don't know. We didn't have steak, but
No.
I
think I had seafood.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't like pancakes. I don't like waffles. What I do like are what some people might know as a Johnny cake. And then
they're good too.
Other people might know as a hoe cake.
You like the hoe cake.
No, not at all. I'm like the Protestant or the prude cake at this point.
I love hoe cakes. I like Johnny cakes. I like pancakes.
But they're basically corn cakes.
Yeah, totally. And they're good.
Some people use nothing.
Don't put sugar in them.
No, please don't. They need to be like salty and buttery.
Oh man, yeah.
With an egg on top.
It's like a popcorn cake.
Yeah.
Or a grit cake.
Yeah, very much a grit cake.
Yeah, but better than grit cakes.
Yeah. So some people will do like a hybrid Johnny cake pancake. So they put flour in with the cornmeal.
No.
Not for me. No. If you're doing a Johnny cake, make it a fucking Johnny cake.
Now, I had grits for the first time when we were together at the Waffle House. I don't know if you remember. In Chattanooga, next to McKay's, and it was the first time I had grits that I was just like, why have I not been eating these?
Because you thought it would be like cream of wheat.
Yeah, I totally did,
and
which I hate.
Corn
I despise.
And wheat are two totally different
But I will say
things.
they kind of are similar, but I've been a fan since. And coming to Atlanta, I've had some of the best grits ever. Mm-hmm. I went, and I'm sorry, I can't remember where it is right now. I wish I could say their name. But they put corn in the grits. Mm. It might have been the best grits I've ever had.
You know what would be even better if you had corn in your grits along with a little poblano.
Well, now my wife puts poblano in there all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of used to that. But the corn, and then there was some other seasoning or something. Man, that was good. It was awesome. Corn grits. I wish I could remember where we went. She could tell you downstairs. But anyway, it was like the last time we went, and it was so good. But also, when I make my I call them hoe cakes.
Right.
When I make my, and so they're hoe cakes because farmers used to make them on their hoe. Like the hoe that they did gardening, they would put that hoe on the fire, let it heat up, and they would pour the stuff on the hoe.
Like out in the field?
Yeah. And they would pour the mix on the hoe and cook them there with that hoe. And that's why they're called hoe cakes.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And so I like to put corn kernels in my hoe cakes. And I like to put a little bit of sage. Mm-hmm. That's it. And some pepper sometimes.
Yeah.
And if I want to get really fancy, I'll kind of top it with some sesame seeds. And that's why I like my hoe cakes.
No,
butter and good.
I mean, I like the way that you make the cake itself.
Mm-hmm.
Very much, and that's where I learned how to make them is from you. Yep. But I smother them in butter and then put a fried egg on top.
Oh, that's good too.
So that the egg yolk breaks into the.
That's good. That's good.
Anything with an egg
like
on top.
Porn. That's porn.
Anything with an egg on top.
Just don't put syrup on it. Some people do. I don't care.
They shouldn't be sweet, in my opinion. They should not be sweet.
That's good. Now I need to have one.
Me too. But you can have one on Sunday because it's kind of like a pancake. You're making it in a pan.
That's true.
And you can make pancakes on the side.
They should have whole cake day though.
They should. And maybe they do. I'll have to look it up. Maybe when we get there, we'll get super stoked.
Any more? Is that it?
That's it. That was Sunday.
We're done? What the?
Would you expect pancake day to be on any day other than a Sunday?
No. That's a good day.
Yeah.
Saturday maybe, but Sunday's good. Sunday's the best.
Sunday brunch.
Hey, everybody. We're going to be saying goodbye right now, but we want to say thank you for listening to the podcast.
Did we go over an hour?
Thanks. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Way over. But we love it when you come and hang out. We like for you to hang out with us online and talk to us online. Tell us that you're hanging out. It always helps us out. You know, we do have this Halloween thing coming up next month, and you're invited to it. It's called Art of the Dead. It's going to be happening at the Rec Gallery in Tucker, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. It's a night of storytelling. If you're local to Atlanta, please come to it. If you're not local, we're going to try to put it on to where people can download it.
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
a special event or special podcast or something.
Yeah.
And it'll just be a night of stories. Those stories have to come from somewhere, and we hope they'll come from you. So please submit a story. Write a story and send it to us. You only have like 2 more weeks. It's almost done.
2 weeks.
We're getting close to Halloween.
Just write a story.
And send it to thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Let us know if you're going to do it. Also, just join us on Facebook. Hang out with us. Come to our secret group. We don't tell everybody about this.
Except you.
We have a group called the Disaster Baiters, and it's on Facebook. And if you ask to be a part of it, unless you're a spam group, which we do get a lot of those. They want to get on and spam everybody, and we don't let them in.
We don't do that.
But if you ask us, we will probably let you be a part of the group.
We'd love you to be, actually.
We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. And now you can now download our podcast on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so if you're looking for a place to download, that's a good place to go. But that's kind of the history of us.
It's not the history of us. It's the current of us.
It's what's going on. So, but yeah, we've had people who've been listening for a long time. We have new listeners, and all the people we like to hear from you, and we hope to hear from you if you're new or old. Let's talk about this brewski that we've been drinking.
Okay.
And tell people what we think about it.
Once again, we're having a beer by Omme Brewery out of Cooperstown, New York. Excuse me. It is Rye Barrel Vanilla Stout. It is a limited release. It's an imperial stout with vanilla aged in rye whiskey barrels, and it does have a 9.5% alcohol by volume.
Okay.
My thoughts are, I'm thoroughly enjoying this beer.
Heck yeah.
I thought that it would get sweeter as you go on, and I haven't noticed that.
It's lost a little bit of carbonation. The sweet factor has kind of stayed the same.
And we ate some food.
Yep.
And we were still able to drink this beer. Mm-hmm. So it's not like a beer that has to be drank on its own. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, this is a limited release from them. So if you can find Omme in your hometown, get the Rye Barrel Vanilla Stout and give it a shot. Let us know what you think of it.
That little vanilla taste at the all the way through it, that's worth it.
It
stays
so
good. Huh?
It stays through the whole thing. It's not like it loses that vanilla. Yeah.
It's like a little bit of candy with your beer. It's very nice.
Yeah,
right,
and I taste the rye.
Uh-huh.
Do you taste the rye?
Maybe. A little bit.
It's not as strong as some of the whiskey barrel beers that we've had.
Well, I think that's what's controlling the sweetness. Maybe.
Maybe you're right. Yeah. There you go. Yep. Okay.
Should I go ahead and rate it first?
Sure.
4.
All right. I'm going to give it a 4 as well.
Wow, 2 4s. So we both really like this beer. I'm going to have another one. I got 2 more. You can take one home if you want, and then I'll only have 1 more.
No, you can have
I did like this beer a lot. So I'm going to drink it again.
Good for you. I'll get some of my own. Mm-hmm. You keep.
I was kind of afraid to get it, but it turns out I made a good choice. And there's a lot of pumpkin beers that are coming up. October, maybe we'll do some pumpkin stuff
I think we should.
in October.
If we can find anything new.
They usually have some new stuff, so we'll look for them, but we may start doing that soon. All right, close it down. I'm not going to say it again, just going to mention we need a story from you.
Write a story.
Halloween story.
Do it.
Art of the Dead.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, we will see you next Monday. Every Monday, new show. Download it. Subscribe.
We'll be here.
Leave us a review.
You should be here.
And we'll see you next Monday.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.